Their toilet disappears.
Yeah, you see, that's important, bro. Their
toilet
disappears.
I'm not joking. Their toilet disappears.
See, bro, we're gonna take a
Oh
shit
my
now.
god, I can. The only thing I can
They got
think
no
of.
floors. They gotta smell shit everywhere.
What shampoo does the ghost use, Jerry? God damn, bro. Like I thought I was weird
Bro,
because
they have tacos. It's alright, man.
Mr. 305, what's up?
Charlemagne the God here.
Everybody's
Oh
gonna
my
do
God.
everybody's gonna do an impression. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Mr.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Everybody's gonna do a Pitbull. Go ahead.
21. Different number.
That's not Pitbull.
Mr. 305.
That was good. That was good. Jerry can do an impression.
Oh,
we learned
okay.
something today. Dylan didn't do one. Where's your Pitbull?
I'm just gonna shave my head up, Shush.
Okay.
That's good.
Welcome to the Joystick Show. It's
Oh,
not.
wait. Actually, I do have a Pitbull impression.
Do it.
I think that was great,
Shut
bro.
up.
That was so good.
I was gonna question why Joey's here because he was fired this week. I think next
yeah.
week me and Jerry will question if either of you show up because what the fuck is that, Dylan?
One by one, we all get fired.
I'm gonna need you guys to hand in your Joystick HQ keys.
I'm no longer the hand in the I'm funny card. Just, I'm not.
I need you to hand in that laminated identification card on a lanyard, you know, that they scan to get into the
Oh,
building.
man.
Can you actually do that?
I get those to get into my room.
No,
Oh my God,
Bobby's parents are just like,
It's a new thing.
You guys walk into my
Hand
house,
scan.
there's like a fucking receptionist behind a desk while my parents are on the sofa watching TV. They're just like sick and tired of this shit. She's like on the phone like, yeah, I could do Saturday.
We can squeeze you in.
Welcome to the Joystick Show. It's not episode 305. It's episode 125. We're here to
Yep.
fucking shoot the shit. We got a full table here. Before we get into anything, it'd be really helpful if you could subscribe to Team Joystick and like episode 125 of the Joystick Show, which is what you're watching with your eyeballs.
yeah, true.
I mean, what's up with you boys? I just we got a lot of just random shit to talk. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to hear what this guy's been up to because this guy's been you've been a traveling
Yeah.
man. Where
Yeah.
in the world is Joseph San Diego?
Yeah.
I have the big ass red
Red
hat and
hat,
everything
yeah.
and shit. I was in Philadelphia. The center of the city was like Center City, Philadelphia. I think it was called Center. It was like the center. They dropped us off at the Liberty Bell. Did some like outdoor like museum research and stuff. But I was there for a tattoo convention because my girlfriend is a tattooist. So I went to accompany her and this was my first tattoo convention and it was interesting. What do you think happens in a tattoo convention? Like, what was the vibe? Like,
I'm gonna
what do you think
assume people are
everything
getting tattooed.
is? Yeah.
What is the name of the convention?
Villain Arts Tattoo, I think it was called.
I thought it was gonna be like TatCon.
TattyCon.
Is it like a concert?
Nah, no. I thought
It's
there
just
was
like
music.
dark
There was a
lights and, like-
stage, and they were constantly announcing things like, "Oh, this is coming up. If you want to come see it, there's a stage." But it's mostly just people showing off like how much ink is covered on their body and how well it's covered.
I'm gonna assume there's a fair amount of drugs involved at this tattoo convention.
Not
During.
promoted and not during, but you can smell it.
Doing, I would assume.
Doing one guy, because my girlfriend's mentor is very big on like psychedelic colors, and he makes his art with 3D glasses so you can see it. I gave it to one guy, he like spazzed out. I was like, look, check it out. The prints are in 3D, and he was like,
I know what that guy was on.
okay, I'm putting these away.
The 3D person killed his family or something.
But surprisingly, there's a lot of like Latinos there, like tattooing. They're all from LA, Texas as well,
So
Arizona.
Like a lot of, like face tattoos and stuff.
Yeah. There was a guy walking around in like a Speedo just getting all his tattoos. Like he was just going, like he had one, like the band around here, on his leg, around his neck, around his chest. And he was in a Speedo and a blazer and he's just walking around like
Crazy.
He wasn't built either. Like he was just like,
He was there.
just there.
He's just
Man on a mission.
I was gonna ask, like, the general consensus is that people who are super super tattooed up are like those like big and tough guys. Are these all just like really nice people, or like what's the vibe in terms
What's
of
the general vibe? They're all nice people, but they're all, because tattooing is, you make money by just tattooing people. You don't make money if no one shows up.
Right.
So just imagine like 15 long rows of just artist after artist after artist, all trying to stand out from one another with the color black.
That's hard.
And it was hard. There was a point like after like the 8th row, I was numb to it all. Like I was numb to every like I would look to my right, oh, black and skull. Okay, all right, look over here. Okay, there's more of the same things.
You also think about it like compared to your other convention experiences, something like Comic-Con, right? There's so much variety, right? It's not just comics, it's it's TV shows,
movies,
it's videos, it's games, and even past that when it comes terms to like collectibles, it's comics and statuettes and
mad
posters
celebrities.
and
Meet and
Tattoo
greets.
Con, it's really just like tattoo and like prints, right? Probably art and stuff like that.
There was artists, yeah. There was actually a print artist that was there from Comic-Con, and I recognized the work because they had the hereditary image of the mother floating, and I was like, ooh, that was scary. I don't like that image. But overall, I think I would go to a tattoo event, but I don't think I could see myself staying the whole event from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Oh, that's too long, yeah.
No, but I think the reason it spans out that long is because tattooing takes a long time.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's mentor had someone book for an appointment at 2. They left at 7. And it was like a huge thigh tattoo. Like it was super big. He was just tattooing and going over. It was like a giant geometric like shape.
Did she tattoo anyone?
No. The event was to promote him in the shop in New York.
Oh, nice.
So she was only there to promote herself, like have her business cards, and basically make money, whatever portion of what he sold. So the day we went with that big tattoo, he charged that woman like $800. And then there was another back tattoo that he charged that woman, I think, $500. And then we sold like maybe 3 prints. So that was like $60.
Nice.
Fire.
And that was just one day's of work.
How was Philly?
It was fun. The streets are super clean, surprisingly. And it kind of bummed me out that when I got home, I was on the train and I looked out and there's just mad garbage on this floor. I was like, oh man.
Or if you
Makes
walk,
the city look like shit.
Yeah. Well, Joey, if you walk 10 blocks to this beautiful place called Kensington in Philly, you would not
Oh
say
yeah.
it. You were in like the downtown.
I was
you
in
were
the downtown.
You were
area.
in a nice part.
All right,
Philly
but it was
is-
just like super clean, way too clean.
You were in tourist Philly.
Yeah, you were in tourist Philly. I know. I've seen many videos of just like people lined up to buy K2. You know.
Oh
like,
no, our hotel was like in the back alleys.
Yeah.
Like it looked pretty in the Google images, and then when we arrived, we started to realize, yeah, this is like kill me alleys. These are kill me alleys.
And like you know, New York, for being how shady as it is, New York doesn't have that many alleyways. Like
No,
they do,
and there's lights everywhere.
Philly, Chicago are just alleys. Like every block has.
We saw a
alleyways.
tunnel that it was just like black. Like I was like, I am not stepping in there. Like there's like a gang of people waiting for anyone to walk in there. Swiper no swiping. On this bullshit.
Were there a lot of skaters on the streets?
Yeah, there was like I think those streets are so because they're well kept and I guess for tourists.
Also, just like Philly is like a really big like hub for skating in terms of like.
No,
skate
there was a
culture and
lot of
stuff.
skaters. I know the Love Sign is a big like skate magazine spot, and I took a picture there. There's a sign that was like absolutely no skateboarding, $300 fine, and there was like 12 skaters not listening to that sign. I was like, that's funny.
FDR is there. That's where this guy got to start. Bam Margera.
I wanted to check it out, but it was like out of the way of where the convention was, and I didn't want to Uber all the way out there just to come back. But it looked like a dope spot. I see myself definitely going back if they have like a skating competition, an event, or World Skate Day. SkateCon, yeah. When there's SkateCon, I'll be there. Oh man. I saw, and the last thing I want to say about Philly, the convention was good. I saw my first night before the convention. I wanted to get food, and we found like a punk bar, and we went inside, and there was these like really old guys. It looked like they were in their 40s because they said, yeah, we have merch in the back. And he goes, and maybe you could buy some merch, and one day when we become rich and famous, you could say, hey, I knew those guys when they were in their 40s. One day when we're rich and famous, and we all laughed at that.
What a joke.
All their stuff kept breaking. they broke their bass drum, so they had to get another drum. And then on the second song, they broke another drum. And he was like, someone in the crowd yelled out like, raise the mic volume, I can't hear him. And then the guy behind the mic studio was like, fuck you. And then the singer was like, "Guys, come on, we're learning about drums together. Like, shut up, stop arguing with
What
each
a
other."
train wreck.
Oh my god, and I paid money to see
Fucking
that.
Century, man.
But shout outs to Pissed Jeans. They've been doing that shit for a long time. Because when we saw their merch, they're teenagers in their posters.
I know this band. Wait a minute, I know this band. I
do?
know them. They're
I saw them.
They're like a noise rock. They're like loud, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I know. They're a noise rock band. Yeah.
I took a video solely for Bobby to share it on the just. You don't have to play the audio. Just show the video of them
Holy
vibing.
shit, I'm about to look up right now.
They
what
open
song
for
I have.
Loaded Diaper, dude.
Yeah. Loaded diaper and shit
sex
sandwich.
and sex bombs.
Yo, real quick, that actually
man.
reminds me. This is just a real quick shout outs to my boy Miles. Fucking, I have to bring up a conversation me and Miles we had recently. You know how I always talk to you guys about how like me and Jose are like the two people that we can riff off of each other, and it's always like
the dumbest thing in human
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Miles is very similar to that, and unfortunately, I don't have the conversation saved.
Oh.
But either way, I remember the majority of it.
Yes.
And basically, you know, Miles was asking me how I was doing, and I told him that I'm all right, but I was sick at the time, and I was like, I'm still getting over it. But I told him, you know, I was like, I'm really sick, and I don't know which doctor to go to because I have 6 doctors. And he was like, oh crap. And then I was like, might go to 4 because he's my favorite. And then he's like, nah, man, you should go to Doctor 2 because he's too good at being a doctor. And then I was like, well, you know, Doctor 1 is number 1, so I'll go to him. And then he was like,
For sure.
And he was like, nah, I'm gonna go with Doctor 5. And then I was like, why 5? And then he sends me a picture from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books with the kid Manny in the back of the car, and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means Clive or something. And I just started crying, dude. Like I broke, and then it turned into like a casual conversation about Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Bro,
Diary
I
of a
totally
Wimpy Kid.
Jose would
forgot
keep
that
going.
kid, bro.
Jose would keep going with the
Oh
big.
my
Go like, you broke it. It's just like.
Totally forgot that.
Oh, check out this business card I got at the tattoo convention.
Oh shit!
It looks like a Game Boy. The shop is on there. It's a sick ink. The trainer's name is the tattooist's name. And the battle, like the items you select, it says network. It's selected on networking as instead of like.
Pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty sick. Shout outs to Abby in L.A. Is it or Philadelphia? No, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Whitehall, PA.
Whitehall, PA. Abby, you got cool business
Pedal
cards.
tattoo.
That's how you
Pedal
get someone's
tattoo.
attention.
Something I wanted to talk about. That is, so I gotta say
Words.
this with a grain of salt here, a little bit of a disclaimer.
little
Something
bit
that
salt,
I want to talk
little
about,
pepper.
but it comes from a world. It comes from a culture that I can't really identify with,
Okay.
and it's one that's widely popular. You
All right.
We have siblings that are very much into it, right? And that is the world of wrestling. Okay?
Oh.
So I'm not very, and of course I'm talking about specifically here WWE, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes, of course.
Not
So
not the like really skinny, tall looking.
No, not
No,
real
not
Olympic wrestling.
Greco-Roman. Greco-Roman.
But no, like, you know, entertainment wrestling. And recently I've been getting into wrestler intros. And I just wanted to talk about how I want a wrestling intro for every fucking where that I go in my life. Like, I want to walk into Home Depot and have pyro behind me.
Yeah,
The first note of a song plays and everybody knows Bobby just walked into Home Depot. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they're so hype. What is
They
it
are
about
hype.
it?
The wrestling intro is like it's so necessary. Like the fact, like boxing and like MMA, they don't really do it correctly. Like you just walk out with your posse and look cool.
Yeah.
It's not the point's not to
and
be
they always
cool.
choose a different song, right? It's always like a
Yeah.
different feel, a different vibe.
I need a theme
This is a
song.
You
theme
need
song.
you need to not even know who's coming out and then play the fucking song.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
know
You play the
exactly
song,
you know
that's
exactly
coming
who
out.
it is.
That's the hypest
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
right?
The amount of times where like you would be like it'd be mid-match in wrestling, like WrestleMania or whatever, and you just hear the fucking Undertaker
Dong,
gong,
yeah.
and everyone's like, no.
And what's so funny is like recently I've been watching a lot of like top 10s this, top 10s that, right?
Yeah.
And I just find it funny, like you watch like those Royal Rumble matches where like you have a new person running into the ring every so often or whatever.
Rumble's fucking
But
fantastic.
it's so funny because like you get to see like the wrestlers in the ring's perspective too. So they granted it's not like they don't know what's gonna happen,
they're
but
like-
they hear it. But then they're all like that. But my favorite reactions are from the commentators, like because it's always more special when like an old school wrestler comes out of nowhere. Like it's like fucking, I don't know, like is that Jake the Snake? And then the commentators are like, Jake the fucking Snake. Like they're popping the fuck off.
Oh yeah, the WWE commentary team is like it's very hype.
WWE's hype.
Yeah. And as someone who like doesn't only really played a few of them, the wrestling video games,
They're
Very
sick. I
good.
like them.
This
We're
one
hype.
I've been dying to play again.
I used to play them back in the day.
Yeah, I would play WWE. I remember I got 2006 or 2007. It came with my 360.
Oh shit.
My 360 came with College Hoops, Sonic 06, and a wrestling game. Not a good combo, but the wrestling one was like the.
What was the second one after Sonic 06?
It was College Hoops 2K5.
That's a
Oh, that
shitty
was
bundle.
awesome.
College Hoops 2K6. Yeah, horrible bundle. But anyways, that game specifically had a career mode that was incredible because it works. And it's we want you to fight Triple H, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking beat Triple H, bro.
I'll tell you how long ago I used to play that wrestling game. I used to play WWF. No Mercy.
Oh yeah, the fucking
That was on the
WCW.
N64. That was fucking.
Anybody
a
know why
game.
they had to change it to WWE?
This shit, the fucking charity.
World Wildlife Fund. Yeah.
Oh,
Foundation.
wow.
I don't know what the F is, but the point is.
It's
I was always
foundation
confused about
fund,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I
was not the
used to
same
be
name.
really into wrestling, and then I fell off. And what got me interested, my sister's ex-boyfriend was like really into wrestling and got her back into it, which is why I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways, there was a character, he would call himself the Firefly, and his shtick was that instead of a song, the house lights would just turn off, and you'd be in like left in darkness. So they kind of relied on people with like using their like cellular devices or any kind of bracelet, anything that illuminated something, and that kind of lit the ring for him to fight. And it just looked cool to see a bunch of lights in the darkness like light up these people as like running around.
It's like that other guy in the WWE. I forgot his name. I think it's like Bray something, but he comes out with a lantern in pure darkness and the fog. That's actually kind of sick. It's not even like a hype song. It's pretty like mellow, but it's just like it's supposed to be like ominous because he's like it's literally dark as shit, and all you see is this one guy holding a lantern in the mist
fog.
and like all these other lights around him from cell phones and shit.
And then
That's
there's
sick.
wrestlers that are just like, he's really fat and he puts his butt in your face.
Yeah, but but that's like the cool thing too. Like I was watching
Everyone
all those
has a
and I was like, it pains me that it took 26 years, but finally high in bed, I was like, I see the appeal of wanting to be a wrestler when you're a fucking kid. This shit is sick as fuck.
Yeah. Imagine, just having the ability to be like.
It's like you have superpowers, but you don't have superpowers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And everyone pretends you do.
You
And
do,
everyone
exactly.
pretends you do.
Exactly. It's so great.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
I know
it's-
someone that wants to be a wrestler. Like he was legit going for it. He got pretty far. That's crazy.
No, I have respect for that. Like,
Yeah.
aside from all just like putting yourself out there, like those
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
it's and it's like,
get hurt.
and the whole like fake thing is so overplayed
It's
at this
scripted
point.
for sure,
It-
but
like
those fuckers are still
That's the whole-
jumping off a fucking.
That's the whole point of it. Is that it wouldn't be interesting if it wasn't rigged. Like if you didn't
Right.
know, if you guys were actually, these guys would die. They
Right,
already
they'd be
die.
Splitting their heads.
It's
on the-
fake and they die already. What do you
And
mean?
they get resurrected?
Yeah, you want them to be fucking like actually fighting? You see how big these guys are?
Dude, they're jumping
Rey
off of-
Mysterio beat the Big Show. That wouldn't happen in real life. You'd sit on him, he'd die. We'd have a fucking
They're
funeral.
using chairs and tables as props.
550
jumping off the top.
pounds.
They're
So-
jumping off of cages without no equipment on them.
What was
They're
it?
just like,
we were watching. I remember we were watching like the Hardy Bros video, and the it just kept getting higher and higher.
Just
He
swanton
jumped right-
bombing
yeah.
from fucking.
And Bobby was like,
Raptors.
"Is he climbing the Empire State Building?"
Isn't it kind of funny that people back in the day were like, nah, they're not faking it. Like,
Yeah. But do you know? But to be fair, do you understand how fucking difficult it was for me as a child in like third grade to be the one boy in a whole class of kids who are
That
into
love it.
wrestling, and then you come into one day and they're like, "Yo, Vince McMahon came back from the dead," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like a real person came back to life, and you know, like this other kid is explaining it to me, like, okay, like Vince McMahon, like he runs the WWE, right? And I'm like, yeah, like okay, this other wrestler killed him, and I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So they had his funeral, and then he came out of the coffin, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like I went home, and I'm like, Dad, did you know about this?
Your dad's like, shut up.
People have been born. People have died in the WWE. They've had a baby has been made. There was weddings. No, they had sex and then she was pregnant the next episode, like visibly pregnant. And I was like, it's been 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
WWE Raw,
I think
bro.
one of my favorites is there was like top 20 like reveals in WWE history, and the majority of them are like mid match when they play the thing and they come out. But one of them is like a women match, and like this one woman is like in an arm cast, and the other woman hugs her. She has like this pink hair or whatever, and then she just turns around and bitch slaps her, sends her to the ground, and she takes the pink wig off. And she has blue hair, and the commentator's like, "It's Sasha Banks! Oh my god, it's Sasha Banks!" And all she did was take off one wig. And like, it was supposed to be this whole thing where everybody was like, "Oh my god!" But she looked no different. She looked
The same.
exact same.
Last thing I want to say about wrestling, you guys I'll just listen. Bad Bunny, like, remember when he did wrestling for a bit?
Yeah,
or is he still doing it?
I think he might actually legit still be signed.
I think whatchamacallit, I was on Instagram and they showed a clip of him like running out, like interrupting a match. And what I focused like on was the audience's reaction, because I was wondering, like, is that sound just like speaker sound pretending there's a lot of crowd cheering? But the announcer's like, "It's Bad Bunny! Bad Bunny has made it to the ring!" He climbs the ropes, and I'm paying attention to the audience, and they're all just kind of like, okay, like, I didn't know if they just, who is this guy, or is this guy really relevant to this plot?
Not part of the story.
Since it's still in kind of
filler.
topic. There's like a WWE clip that's like going viral. I've seen it like 6 times in the past week. It's
Is it when he sprains his ass?
No, it's like they call it like one of the biggest flubs in WWE, and it's supposed to be this match where I think it's John Cena and Batista.
Yep.
Where they both fall out of the ring at the same time, and it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
So then they don't know how to solve it. So then Vince McMahon comes out and he runs to the ring to jump in to solve it. But as he jumps in, he tears both of his quads jumping onto the ring. So he stands up and then just falls down to his knees. But he's in character the whole time. You can tell he's in like the most pain ever. But he's just there like. And he's angry. There's everybody pain. Like the Raf, John Cena. They're all like standing on the ring, and he's just on his knees, like. So fucking funny.
A lot of WWE clips on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Facebook, but people love WWE clips on Facebook. Like I was watching. It was just like a best of like this 33 and a third % Scott Steiner, that guy, and it's
classic.
Just 10 out of 10. That guy, the way like the interviews, everything. Booker T saying the N-word every time, and they kept saying, "Hey, Booker T, you can't say the N-word on TV," and he's like, "You're right."
It's hard to be intimidating while you're sitting on the floor like a toddler. Like everyone's hovering, big ass man hovering over you, and he's just like
on his knees for some reason.
Oh man,
entertainment.
Too funny.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of entertainment, I also saw a pretty cool movie. Can I talk about that?
Oh yeah, I actually want you to. I've been interested.
Yeah, I saw this experimental movie. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. It's called Skinamarink. It's now on Shudder, which is a pretty meh like streaming services for horror. But this movie is called Skinamarink, and it's made by this YouTuber who would take these horror stories that commenters they would write nightmares they had as children, and he'd make an analog horror of those nightmares. And what analog horror is that it's mostly like visuals, sounds that give you the sense of that feeling without deliberately showing you.
Love analog horror is low key like one of my favorites.
It's low key terrifying. It got really popular. Some people can make the statement that maybe it got popular with the Five Nights at Freddy's, the resurgence of a lot of like videotapes, like watching videotapes prior to playing the game of giving the sense of like something bad has happened, and I'm only gonna find out if I watch all these tapes.
A lot of analog horror is that it's animations, it's tapes,
it's audio recordings,
it's former news recordings, but they change a couple of things. It's like little stuff like that.
And this movie, the best way to explain it, it's about
So hold on, can I just cut you off for 1 second?
What's up?
Just because when the movie was coming out, the only synopsis that I could find for this movie was a boy is in a house with no doors and no windows, and that was it. Is that the story?
Basically. But it's scary.
No,
I've never I love horror movies, and
What a concept,
I've seen horror movies, but I've never been so scared And I argued that I think I'd be less scared if I was watching it in my house with like, you know, the lights on the other room on.
No, but like
but being in a theater, it was a theater, big screen, and this big screen has that analog horror grain to make it look vintage.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, the white noise that grain has, like
just simmering throughout the whole.
And simmering through the whole movie.
Oh.
I'm watching it with the speakers, and it's dark. The film is dark, so it just makes the theater even darker. And there was this one scare that happened that my blood literally went cold. Like, it scared everyone in the theater that everyone had to, like, laugh it off together. Mm-hmm. And I looked at Nicole, and Nicole was freaking out. And I just, like, touched my hand, and I just felt all the blood return into my body, like, warm. Like, I was like, that was terrifying. And the rest of the movie, I was on guard. The rest of the movie, I was just, like, waiting for something to happen, waiting.
What was the scare?
Spoilers. The scare was that the sister goes off to to look for the dad and sees that the dad is on the couch, and then he says, look under the bed. And she goes under the bed, there's nothing, but when she comes up, the mother's on the opposite side, and she's like, everything is whispering and very quiet, and when she turns to see what's at the door, because the mother looks at the door, it cuts to the daughter's face, faceless, and it just plays this high screeching noise like a tea kettle, like,
fun.
And that was it. And everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
Shit.
The kids wake up in the night, and it's, long story short, spoiler again. It's supposed to resonate the feeling you had as a child waking up in the night and not knowing what to do, whether to get up and go to your parents or whether to stay there and go back to sleep. And the more I watched it and I looked at clips over again on YouTube, it resonates those feelings. So the corners of the room, the flickering of whatever nightlight or the television.
You missed one option though. You could just also watch George Lopez. You
know? Yeah, word.
Like, you know,
that would be his to have an analog horror, but then
you look at the
George Lopez. You look at the TV.
No, low key, that would be terrifying.
I'm sure someone's done it. Like analog.
Some like early 2000s.
No, this probably happened. That
sure
probably
there is.
Scooby-Doo Nightlight.
Because I've seen there's a lot of ones that are like they do like 90s commercials. Have you ever seen like the nostalgia compilation? They put the nostalgia compilation into the horror to make it like more realistic. Yeah. And I don't know, I just love analog horror based on it's not about like the story or the plot.
It's about the feeling.
It's about the vibe and the
like
back rooms almost. It's just the vibe.
It kind of plays with that whole idea that audiences are typically most scared of what they can't see or what they don't know. So analog horror plays a lot with that idea of just letting you kind of fucking imagine what's in that shadow or like imagine what's behind that static.
It's bad.
And it's not good, but it's honestly at the end of the day, it's what your mind is telling you what it is. And that's why it's so
is that kind of like
terrifying.
PT? Like,
no.
It's just kind of like, no.
Kind of similar in the sense of like the dark and like the house and all that stuff, but
PT is definitely minimal, so it's correct in that regard.
You know what? For how I describe it to like a lot of people that are still confused, imagine paranormal activity. Mm-hmm. But older. Instead of paranormal activity where you see the whole living room, you just see a corner of the living room, and you hear what's going on either in that corner or around that corner, and you have to just imagine, what am I looking at, or what is this story piecing together?
And a lot of like people online, they do
very experimental.
They do like a game with the analog horror. So sometimes it'll be like someone gets murdered, and you got to like figure it out as it goes along, or something like that. Like sometimes they even turn it into like a horror game inside of a video.
I low-key think that's worse because you're more invested.
Yeah,
when you're playing a game, you're even more invested.
Hey, Joey, ready? Analog horror, VR horror game. Could you do it?
Imagine like
I would force myself,
bro.
to.
You can't move. Like
I would force myself to.
That's I don't think
I could. I'm just imagining watching like Skinamarink in VR, like like fixed into one corner and hearing the sounds.
Oh,
my girlfriend describes it. She says it gives me audio anxiety.
Yeah,
just this feeling. There's another scene in the movie where the boy looks into a cabinet and you hear footsteps running like. And it gets closer and there's nothing there.
A lot of horror is also sound design too. Like a lot of it's like everything is just like sounds and jump
Listen,
scare.
as somebody who
one.
doesn't know horror but knows too much about filmmaking,
Yeah.
I know quite a lot about.
I feel like that's why you don't like horror. Bobby's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's what horror is.
I mean, I sat down and I came to the conclusion that my thing, for a long time, I thought it was that I didn't like gore. I thought it was like, oh, I can't watch like Saw or anything like that. But then I watch other like action movies where people are getting beheaded and like even worse stuff, and I'm like, it's not that. My thing is I can't watch movies that are centered around like mutilation,
Torture.
Yeah, so like Saw, Hostel, and anytime things are long drawn out, you know it's coming, but it just takes like, nah, I can't do that shit.
But you like suspense.
I want
though.
you to see Skinamarink
Yeah.
because it's super suspenseful to the point.
Skinamarink I could watch. Like I know it's gonna.
I
want to
watch it
terrifying
with
as
you.
fuck,
Like if
but-
you ever watch it, I'll watch it with you.
But that I know I could take. I'll definitely be scared shitless, but there's a like the stuff I just mentioned. That's when I'm like, nope, I'll just watch anything else. I'm good.
I'm gonna to close it out. I'm gonna send Joey some analog horror late at night,
Ooh.
like just like a Wednesday night. I'll be
I've
like,
seen a lot,
I'll
so
be
I'm
like,
gonna
here
be
you go,
curious as to
Joey.
what
Have
you
a good
send me.
night. Scare myself in the process.
No, low key, I couldn't sleep after Skinamarink. I refused to go upstairs to my room. I live like all the way up in the attic. So like when all my parents are sleeping, I didn't want to go all the way up. I kind of stood in the guest room in the middle aisle, because I was like, I'm not going in my room. It's dark to go up those stairs. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Where does it take place?
It doesn't say. It's just a house.
It's just that.
It's like how many floors is it? Does it
How many
say,
floors is the house?
Yeah.
2.
Jerry, what the fuck?
No,
Why
I
is
just
that
want
a
a picture.
question?
Do you want to ask how many bathrooms there
Jerry
are?
is trying to find the house
I
on
wanna know, 'cause
Zillow.
I need
He's
to
Do they have indoor air conditioning?
Nah, because I need a picture.
Basement,
like,
yeah.
That's the static. That's playing.
semi-finished basement.
It's important. You know, I need to know if it's like a flat, if it's like an apartment.
But like things are
Ranch
just
townhome.
because in a lot of horror movies, there's like attics, there's basements. You
Yeah,
know?
he's right. He is.
It's
That's
2
important.
floors. There's a white rug. They got a small light fixture attached to the wall.
1.5 bathrooms.
Their toilet disappears.
Yeah, you
Full
see, that's
utilities.
important, bro. Their
Their
toilet
toilet
disappears.
I'm not joking. Their toilet disappears.
See, bro, we're gonna take a
Oh
shit
my
now.
god! I can. The only thing I
They
can
got
think of.
no floors. They gotta smell shit everywhere.
What shampoo does the ghost use, Jerry? God damn, bro. Like I thought I was weird
Bro,
because
they have tacos. It's alright.
God damn it, bro. No, I thought I was weird because like
Take it back. Thank you for asking.
no. Because sometimes I'm weird because it's like sometimes I'll watch a movie and I'll think of like the map of the city, like they drove from one place to another, and I'm like that didn't take a long
That's
time.
some shit I couldn't picture.
Yeah, that's what I do. But like to think of like a house, like that's even crazier, bro. That's even wild.
The toilet disappears and it plays this like cartoony sound effect. It's like, and the kids are like confused and like a little halfway through, like a while left in the movie, they need to use the bathroom, so they got like paint bucket cans and they put it where the toilet used to be. That's where they used.
Bucket?
Bruh.
The safe room was the television, so I guess they just sat there and watched cartoons. They would sat there and watch like old Looney Tunes cartoons.
Old cartoons is
It's nothing relevant or modern. It's like you need something creepy, and they chose Looney Tune cartoons.
So just to swing it off real quick, I got Platinum 95. Feels good.
Nice.
I finished the Ezio collection. It's all done.
Nice. I also got a platinum.
What did you get?
I got Hot Wheels the other day.
Oh, fire!
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna get Callisto Protocol soon.
So check out this little thing I have going here.
Let's
Right
go.
now I'm playing another game which I'm about to talk about. That's actually what this chapter is. And then I was thinking 97, 98, 99 probably gonna be the God of War trilogy. PS2. You know, go back, do those. 100
Is gonna be
I'm thinking I put in the work and I grind and I try to platinum Super Meat Boy for my 100th platinum.
How do you get that platinum?
You have to beat every chapter without dying.
Mm.
Not in a row, but like
every
when you
tw-
start, you
yeah.
have to go 1 to 20 every single chapter, even the dark chapters.
That's
And
all
for what it's worth, I have every single light one complete, and I'm missing.
that will be an achievement.
I'm missing 3 to 4 trophies, so 3 chapters that I'd have to perfect.
Can you get a Super Meat Boy tattoo? It doesn't have to be of Meat Boy or something of the game when you do that. Because if that becomes your 100th and that game is hard, low key, I'm excited. Like I
don't know
want
what I
to
would
be there
do.
when that shit happens. I want to pop off with him.
I don't know what I would do, but because I like all those geomet, maybe like a saw blade.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, but it would be like you would have to make it look like the Meat Boy. It's like you know,
Have the
other
blood.
game stuff's
Have
all
the
the
blood.
blades.
The blood on the
You
saw
gotta wait till it
blade.
gets like a scar.
But before I
put,
get
like,
to
the
that,
bandage.
I'm in the middle of platinuming 96, which is this amazing game that I'm ridiculously addicted to called Biomutant, and I want all of you to try at least once.
Isn't it free?
It was free at a point, and then I downloaded it, so I don't know what the deal is now. Maybe if it's still free if you have like the PlayStation Plus or whatever.
I see.
But
Yeah.
it's really good. It's like I saw a streamer playing it once. I think it was Moon, and then I was like, oh, this kind of looks kind of cool or interesting. And then when it was free, I was like, oh, I'll download it. And I've had it in the back burner for like months.
Yeah.
But I finally got around to playing it, and the best way I could describe it is it's kind of like, it feels a lot like Borderlands. It's really open world. Like there's no such thing as like level to, it's literally one giant massive open world.
Love
so
that.
you just
That's always
go
good.
anywhere you
Like
want.
Breath of the Wild?
Honestly, Joey, that is one of the best games I could compare it to. As far as the gameplay mechanics, it's like a third-person hack and slash. So you have like a sword, and you also have like guns. I use the guns mostly because I think they're better.
Okay.
But also, there's like a crafting thing where you could make better weapons.
Is it over
better
the?
guns.
It's not over the top. It's
No,
third
third
person.
person from like your shoulder.
Oh, okay.
It's also kind of platforming, so you have like gliding and all that stuff.
Interesting.
Puzzle solving. I also say it's like Borderlands because you level up and you get like skill points. You can get any powers you want. You pick a class at the beginning of the game that gives you like a boost in something or whatever. So I pick like the Deadeye one, which focuses on gun combat. And then if you reload when you have like 5 bullets or less, you get like an instant
Oh, so it's like
reload.
Borderlands skill tree.
Exactly. So it's really fun. It's just like a third-person experience. But like Joey said, it's like exactly like Breath of the Wild. In fact, the premise of the game is you have to destroy these 4 main bosses called the World Eaters, and they're like at 4 corners of the map.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to them, you have to do quests to over
I
To
like
get
that.
to that.
To
Okay.
get-
That
yeah.
sounds really
It's a
dope.
really
That's a
fun-
really
Legend
good
of
format.
Zelda with guns.
It gets really addictive really fast. Honestly, I haven't gotten into one part of the game that feels like a slag. Like, I've had so much fun the entire. Like, it's just a really great game. And I saw in the opening credits, one of the persons who worked on it is Marcus Persson, which is fucking Notch for Minecraft. I was like, oh,
wow.
shit. It kind of feels like it too with the openness of the world and stuff. So it's a really cool game. I would really recommend it. I haven't finished it yet. But
it. I don't know. It reminds me of other games I've played in like Platinum in the past. So
I didn't want to get into another RPG. I feel like I'd be too invested.
the story's a little like I don't know. It's supposed to be like Earth, like our Earth, but like thousands of years into the future, and the whole story is like humans fucked it up with like drilling and all that
Really?
shit. So like now
Humans
it's
fucked up.
now it's inhabited.
No way.
Now it's
No
inhabited by mutated animals.
Oh,
who
that's actually realistic.
who are like anthropomorphic, but they're anthropomorphic for that reason. And it's kind of funny because all of the technology that they use is stuff that they built, but all of like human technology, like treadmills, TVs, radios, they just call them like running machines or stuff like that because they don't really know
'Cause
what
they
it's
don't know
used
what it's
for.
used
Yeah, so they
for.
misuse. It's a really like all the weapon parts.
That's
are
pretty
other-
dope.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
cool.
that.
It's really dope.
What animal you are? What?
It's
what-
always the same. It's like a
I thought you could customize it. They
You-
made a big deal about like you can make
Uh,
it tall, skinny.
yeah, like there's different like features, but it's always like a ferret looking thing. So you could
Okay.
change like the thing is when you change the class, it changes like your facial features. It doesn't change like your weight or your height or anything like that.
Oh.
So you might have like closer eyes, or you might have like a tougher face or something like that.
Oh, okay.
The bigger customization is your color. So you could change your primary or your secondary. So I have like a pink and blue fucking
Oh, look at that.
squirrel looking thing.
Cotton candy.
It's
Cotton
dope.
candy.
I like how video game. I know this is like a very like not deep thought, but like video games are gotten to the point where it's just like mold these 3 or 4 different games and make it a game. It's like take a roguelike and mix it with this, and now you have a new game.
Yeah.
And it's a new
lot,
game.
It's a lot like,
like
it's almost like
alchemy.
music in a way, where it's like
Right.
they just kind of add more stuff to it, and it's like we mixed this genre with that
They
one.
made I was gonna say they made a roguelike baseball game.
Yeah, I've heard
What?
it. Yeah.
Mango's playing it on stream. the other day.
Yeah. There's a
It's,
lot. There's a lot of games like that.
There's
or like,
a music fighting game now, like a
What the
rhythm
fuck?
fighting
There
game.
was this one game I heard it wasn't
Oh.
that good, but there was like on Switch, and it was like a card. It was like Mirror's Edge, but you played cards.
Parkour cards.
Parkour cards.
It was like
I've
it,
seen that. And
it
it's
was-
like an angel and demon.
yeah.
theme
It's like so basically
story.
yeah. It's like it's a roguelike, but it's like a Mirror's Edge type fighting game, and each time you kill or block an enemy, it's cards.
Yeah.
I think I've
And
seen
you
that.
use
Yeah.
these cards. You can use like
And it's like
jumps,
really, it's like
jump
Mirror's
slash-
It's
yeah.
fast paced.
It's really
I've
fast
seen-
paced.
I
It's
know
like
what you're
really,
talking
really
about.
fast paced too.
I've seen it.
And
Pyrocynical.
I gotta remember the baseball
seen single
roguelike because I
player.
gotta fucking play. That sounds incredible,
fucking
bro.
video games, man.
Word.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
was
man.
talking to Nicole about? Stray, and how like not only video games be mad fun, but they're like poetic in some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking beauty. I mean, Inside. There's a bunch of games that are just like Firewatch.
God of War.
Yeah, there's just some games that are
Detroit
like,
Become Human.
yeah, that are beautiful. I would say even some of the, like
Last
the
of Us.
Walking Dead. I mean, fucking Walking Dead season 1, bro.
Oh, the Telltale ones.
Yeah, Walking
those
Dead.
are good,
The
man.
original,
Man.
season 1 and season 2 of Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us.
Are like-
Man, remember when we used to
Season two
fucking
was-
remember when we used to play the
No.
new ones at Joey's house? Like it was like a thing. We would get together. We'd be at your house for like 4 hours in the dark, just watching you make fucking decisions,
Yeah.
making jokes.
Those games
Oh,
are
man.
great. I still have like 3 or 4 of those games in my library. It's just now they're just so slow that I have to like be in
Yeah.
a certain
Didn't
mood.
this one come out? Didn't Tales of the Borderlands 2 come out? I think it came
Not
out.
yet.
It's a different.
They're promoing
it's not-
it.
but it wasn't Telltale that makes it. I think.
No,
Yeah.
but
Something like
I
that.
feel like it came out.
Yeah, I think it did come out though.
Because I remember Borderlands 1, they were like, there was like a thing you could press to like buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right,
Tales
yeah.
from the Borderlands. October 20th.
I think part of it was that I played the Game of Thrones one, and it was shit.
Yeah, I
No,
think
they
people are
tried
saying
to-
that these are pretty
It
bad
wasn't
now.
horrible. Maybe I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but it was just so like, you walk over.
They
I heard the princess is dying. I don't give a fuck about the princess. Do you want to kill the princess or give her to the enemy tribe? I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't know
bro.
who these people are.
I don't give a fuck about these
I
decisions.
feel like Telltale's downfall was that they just picked any fandom. They were like, people like Batman, make a
Yeah.
Batman
Have you-
game.
have you seen the Batman one?
Guardians of the Galaxy, make a Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah.
They just picked anything that was popular in hopes that they would all come and flock. Like
Yeah,
this
they
is a
low-key
game we
shouldn't
need
have
to
even
play.
done like Borderlands or anything like that. They should have just stuck to
Borderlands was a
Their
bit
Walking
weird,
Dead.
weird.
They
like-
should have just did Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us,
Yeah.
and just did stuff like that. I feel.
Given at
Breaking
least like
Bad.
Borderlands took it and they put it in their story, like the characters.
Yeah.
They actually made it like canon. But,
Last
like,
thing I want to
yeah.
say about video games before we move on. I was just going to say I already know what my next series is going to be. I'm actually pretty excited. I've never played the games before. I'm going to jump into the Far Cry series.
Far Cry,
Ooh.
interesting.
My favorite's
4,
5.
3, 4, and 5 are all free right now. So
Yes, I would say, yikes. Have fun, bro. I mean, you like the Assassin's Creed games, right?
I think Bobby will like them.
that it's that, but first person shooter.
I don't know.
And it's also like almost like collectathon.
It is the reason why I don't play any Ubisoft games anymore is because it is literally the
I don't know why you
same
motherfuckers complain
game.
about that. Those Assassin's Creed collectibles. They're so fucking easy.
Yeah, they're not hard. It's Far Cry is just like it's too much.
I believe
There's
that.
stuff. There's stuff. The map is littered with the same with
but remember,
what was this game
but
that we
remember-
played that
but
was shit?
remember, But remember, you can't talk shit because you have the Just Cause Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just Cause is even worse.
Just
Exactly.
Cause what?
What?
2 or 1?
What?
3.
Just Cause.
Just Cause 3.
Just Cause
You
3.
Platinum Just Cause 3. So I don't think you can complain.
Yeah,
about,
and it
but
took me-
rather I think you can complain about collectibles because you did the worst one.
What do you mean?
That's like the worst.
The collectibles aren't that bad. It's
What is
just
it?
you have to get all of you have to collect every vehicle in the game.
Oh no way.
So my last trophy was grappling back and forth 30 minutes on a bridge so that this bus could spawn, and then I had to hijack the bus and bring it back to like the station or whatever.
Wow.
that's insane.
That-
I'm just imagining because cars. Like there's so many cars.
Yeah, no. And this is like I think I even told this story on the podcast before. But my least favorite part of that game, I had a great time with that entire game. But the one thing I had to collect was a boat.
A boat.
A boat in a lake.
a landlocked lake.
A landlocked lake. So I'm like, oh, I got this. There's a cargo bob where it's like the helicopter with the thing at the bottom. I'll just go over there, pick up. Boat is made out of. It's like a Batmobile boat. It's made out of solid titanium. It does
I
not
can't-
lift. It does not lift off the ground.
So how are you supposed to take
to
it?
wheel
I had to use the tether that I used to like you can like grapple anywhere, and I had to tether it across land down a mountain so that it'd be quick, and I would like angle it, and then I had to go down this mountain, and I had to like angle it to the garage. It didn't take that long. It only took like 15, 20, it didn't take long, but it was like the longest.
Yo,
like-
we need to save like worst platinums we've ever.
I have
done.
a-
I'm looking
have-
mine up right now.
I have
should talk
I
about that.
like honestly, we can just go back and forth for another few minutes, but I think one of my favorite ones was a game that was only 45 minutes to an hour and a half long. I would say it's like longer than that. A lot like it's a lot like Biomutant but shitty. And the platinum required you to get all the endings. So even though the game was only 45 minutes long, you had to get all 16 endings. Yeah. So you had to just play the game over and over and over and over.
I have a trophy like that. That was like this game, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. That the trophy was really just to beat the campaign with every character. There was like 24 characters. You just have to do the same thing.
Oh, I know a shitty platinum. Borderlands, the fucking
pre-sequel.
Nah, the Pirate Keep one.
Yeah,
that one right there.
Jerry did that on purpose.
That's the hardest one I have. All other ones are like pretty
platinum or a trophy.
Is that one hard or is it just like lucky?
It's just
bullshit.
chance.
It's bullshit. That doesn't. I don't consider that like a hard plat. You know what I mean?
I have the hardest platinum in my opinion. I platinumed Overwatch 1. Eat my dick. I don't know many other people who did that.
That's a hard platinum. You gotta get that.
I don't know what the hardest platinum I have is. I usually just do the games I like playing.
Yeah,
like
I would say hardest for me would be like Just Cause.
I think for both of us, Rebirth. That was
a hard one.
Isaac is a pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to do Hollow Knight though.
Yeah.
I kind of like Dylan's idea, even though it's not for a platinum. I kind of do want to go back and start getting Minecraft trophies for some reason. Like that sounds fun.
It just I look and there's like 12 DLCs and they're all 0 and it's like craft a potion. I'm like I can do that. I can craft a potion.
There's always one in there that's really hard though. It's always like get a dragon orb and it's like they drop one out of 600 times. Yeah. But anytime, anytime. It is time for Jam and Wham.
Ooh,
I Slam and Bam and every other.
This week is a Wham, yeah.
Oh, is it a Wham? Imagine it's by Wham. That'd be crazy.
He's fucking predicted.
Dedicated Wham.
Ooh, I got one.
Go for it, Jerry.
I was listening to some albums, right? I clicked a video by the Needle Drop. That is Anthony Fantano, and he has a video called albums that I've given a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
And in that list, he has MF Doom's Mad Villainy.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was listening to Accordion. That song is good.
Accordion is the best song. Accordion and Figaro.
Cells Part 2.
I haven't listened to that one.
Cells Part 2 is my shit. Love that song.
That album is so fucking good.
It's great.
Bro. Yeah.
I hadn't listened to it before.
Yeah, so my very similar song for me, my song is Dead Bodies Everywhere by Korn. So it's not the same song, completely different. I never thought I'd have a Yam of the Week from 1998. That's a new metal song, but here we are. So it's fucking incredible.
I'm down with that.
Amazing guitar, amazing bass.
Are they the Christian one or
Korn?
Wasn't there one that became Christian?
That's
a different band.
That's a different band.
Korn is like they're very edgy. They're
I know, but there was one like that.
Oh,
became super.
Skillet.
Skillet.
No. There was another. I know what he's talking about. Though. There's a metal group that became like pop. But anyways, this song is incredible, mainly just because like it's after Freak on a Leash, what a lot of people consider to be like Korn's best song. But this one's better, I think. And also you got Jonathan Davis, who's just like Charles Manson on the microphone. You know, he's so good, bro. They're not my favorite. I don't like them that much, but that song is
before
fire.
I give my jam, I'll give a special shout outs to the newest Fall Out Boy single, Love from the Other Side. It's not too shabby. Kind of brings back some old school Fall Out Boy vibes. But jam of the week is Jackpot by Tommy Newport featuring Jazz Cartier.
Yo, and my slam is Metallica's One because it's turned 34 years today.
Nice. That's actually sick.
Is that the one that's like,
that's fire?
Ding, 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 yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
So that's the metal music, bro.
That was on Guitar Hero, right?
Yeah,
it was
3, right?
Yeah, and then they gave him a whole game.
Yeah, word. Metallica, Guitar Hero, the game.
I think I love Metallica for 2 reasons. Number one, that game, and then also because all of their songs were in like regular tunings.
Also,
I thought you were going to say Stranger Things.
I was just going to say, I think it's really funny that whenever you go to an arcade and they have like the Guitar Hero arcade, it's just Legends of Rock. It's just 3 because it was the best Guitar Hero. And they were like, just put that one out in the fucking...
We don't need the rest of them.
Yeah, word.
Anyway, thanks for hopping on by for episode 125. That was a fun one.
That was a nice episode. I like hanging out with you guys.
I
like
like
with
my friends.
Some tattooing, some wrestling, some analog horror, some video games.
Yeah.
You know how it be. If you want some more of that, you should definitely subscribe to Team Joystick.
It'd be dope.
You should also like this episode of the Joystick Show because you sat through the whole thing. You did. We're almost done.
We are.
It's gonna be on for like a minute more, and then you don't have to watch it.
Just boom, boom. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question, but it's not in relation to anything we said.
Okay.
Does it feel like you're sitting at the end of the table? Like, if you were to be, if this is analog horror, do you think that this is a pretty good
Is
representation of you being in the room with us?
I'll tell you what, analog horror.